Hi guys, it's Ray here from Man City Fan Chat. Still on my holidays down in London. Off back to Manchester tonight, and I might just catch the final of the Africa Cup of Nations, Afcon. I've not really seen any of the games. I've seen a few highlights here and there, usually just of the goals. I've not seen anything in any depth. And the way I've kind of kept up to date, so to speak, with the Afcon is from some of my Algerian friends from France and from Algeria. I know a few journalists in Algeria who've either still lived there or moved around the world. And every time Algeria win, I get my timeline flooded with videos of parties going on the Champs-Elysees in France and in Algeria and in other capital cities around the world. It's absolutely bonkers, the love that the Algerian fans have for their football team. And so I spoke to a friend of mine called Walid, I can't say his surname, Walid Bilka. A friend of mine, he's a journalist, Algerian journalist, Walid Bilka. And I asked him a few questions about Riyad Mahrez because I wanted to know how is he doing in this tournament. Obviously, I've seen a few of the goals he scored. I've seen that he's got some Man of the Match awards, and I wanted to know how he's doing. Is this tournament and the fact that Algeria are in the final, is this going to give him some confidence for when he comes back to City? Is he going to be a player who's full of maybe walk around with a bit more swagger, a bit more arrogance, especially that his team are in the final, and especially if they actually manage to win tonight against Senegal. So I really want to see how Riyad Mahrez how this is going to affect him for next season. Or could it be that they win and he's so elated he doesn't care about City that much, and he's in his head? I don't think that's going to be the case. But I just wanted to see and get a more expert opinion on Riyad Mahrez. So the first question I asked Walid was basically, how has Mahrez been overall? And it's what Walid said. He said he's been very good. He has 3 goals in 6 games, none from the penalty spot. And while he's not created any assist, they have this thing called the hockey assist, which is the assist before the assist, the pre-assist, let's say. So he believes he set up 3 goals, and 2 of them with a hockey assist. He was talking about the semi-final. He said the first goal was from a cross deflected, and that was an own goal. But he said what's really impressed him about Riyad Mahrez in this tournament is his defending. That's right, is his defending. He said the coach has him playing in the midfield when Algeria are defending, and he's done a fantastic job tracking back and defending. Even saw him win the ball with a sliding tackle in the 85th minute versus the Ivory Coast. You heard that right, a sliding tackle. Riyad Mahrez. You never even think to hear those two phrases in the same sentence. Riyad Mahrez, sliding tackle. And I'll try and stick up some graphics as well that Walid has sent me, just to show that I mean these are some tweets he actually sent out in early July, and with the diagrams to show Riyad Mahrez defending, and he's added to that with the comments that he's made to me in private. So he said in the first picture, it says another case of Mahrez dropping to the midfield when Algeria is defending, with Sofiane Feghouli taking his place, and hashtag Les Verts, that's the Greens, that's obviously a name for Algeria. And so he sent me, that example. And then he also said he's highlighted Mahrez in another picture, and he said, as has been the case in previous matches, when Algeria is defending, Mahrez drops to the midfield while Feghouli moves up. This isn't the first time that Belmadi has gone for this tactic, and Belmadi's a manager. So that's, I think, one of the big takeaways from this. In 6 games, he's scored 3 goals. He's been creative. He's helped create 2 or 3 goals with the pre-assist, let's call it. He's been man of the match in games. He scored that free kick winner in the semi-final, last minute of the game, curled it into the far post. So yeah, overall he's done pretty well. So I asked Walid, how highly is Mahrez thought of by the fans and the management? And Walid said he's a star of the team, the face of the team, and the most technically gifted player on the team. He's very highly rated and very well liked. And while some people criticise his lack of contributions on the field before the tournament, he's responded in brilliant fashion in Egypt. The coach has full faith in him, and you can see that when he starts him and hands him the captain's armband. You know, we've seen that at Mahrez. Can you believe that? Mahrez is captain. You know, these are things these are very good attributes. You know, this hard-working player, player defending, sliding tackles, getting into shape quickly, and being reliable for the team both in an attacking and a defending sense, and he's captain too. And the final question I asked Walid was, will Riyad Mahrez help to deliver Algeria's first Afcon, and how this tournament may help him at Man City? Well, this is what Walid said. He said, Algeria is 90 minutes away from the trophy, and Mahrez has played a key part in that. Of course, his 95th minute winner in the semi-final, but his play throughout the tournament. As for Man City, it will surely give him a huge confidence boost after an underwhelming first season, but it might also give Pep an option to play him in a less advanced role like Algeria does. But he said he's not sure what Pep's style would work since Man City has so much possession. But that's interesting as well. You know, it's been talked about that, yes, we play Mahrez wide on the right, and it was, as Walid said, a pretty underwhelming first season. But we know Pep's utilised him, I think, in the game against Liverpool, where he chose a more defensive role for Riyad Mahrez. He wanted a more defensive player out on the right, out wide, and that's why Riyad Mahrez got the pick for that. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, are we going to utilise that option to play Riyad Mahrez in an attacking midfield role as well? Could we do that? You know, could we have Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez? I'm not sure we could put the both of them in the same team, and Riyad Mahrez would cope. But that's another option, and I think that's another good option because of the flexibility of our team. You know, we've got Bernardo Silva, who can play in an attacking midfield role, and he can play wide on the right. He can play wide on the left, and I'm pretty sure, I'm confident that if he was needed to, he could play a DM role as well, in a more attacking sense, the way I think Gundogan plays it. That role, rather than the defensive sense that Fernandinho plays. So, you know, next season, I mean, I'm really looking forward to next season for Riyad Mahrez. You know, people have made fun of him, people have criticised him, used him, you know, for silly jokes and stuff. But we look at a lot of players. Look at Bernardo Silva. Even though he played a lot of games in his first season at City, people didn't think he'd, you know, come through, and people were questioning whether he'd make it at City. Well, I certainly didn't. You know, I said in the first season, I noticed in the first season that Pep would keep playing Bernardo Silva. Although people said, he's not good enough, he's not going to make it. But you do quite possibly need that first season. You need that first season at City to settle, to develop, to learn the system. And we saw Bernardo Silva last season, you know, this season just gone, City's player of the season. Yeah, won won all the domestic trophies, won the Nations League title with his country of Portugal, was the player of the Nations League tournament and finals. You know, fabulous player, should be knocking on the door for Ballon d'Or for what he's won and what he's achieved. And it's not the fact that he's just won all these trophies. He was a player of the season for City. He was a player of the tournament at the Nations League. These are high accolades, you know, for a team that's won all the domestic honours. Yeah, and got to quarterfinals of the Champions League. For him to be the best player in that, selected to be the best player in that team, that's an honour. You know, that's a high accolade. So we've seen players can need that first season to just integrate, to develop, to get used to it, you know, to the system, to the players and everything else. And I've no doubt that, you know, we know Mahrez is so technically gifted. You know, when the ball's passed to him, it sticks to his foot. Same as with Bernardo Silva. You know, you can pass it from anywhere and he controls it dead. Yeah, and you might have seen one of the goals he scored earlier in the tournament where it was a cross from the left, and he controlled it in the same movement that he went past the left back. unbelievable piece of skill to be able to control it and in the same movement play it past the player. And the left back was flat-footed, and Mahrez scored an easy goal. But it was made by that control and movement, that control of the ball and taking it past the player, all in one movement. Unbelievable piece of skill. So he is that technically gifted player, and I hope that he'll flourish this season. And the games that he does play, he'll be more adventurous, and he's got that season behind him. If they win Afcon, he'll be even more confident. I mean, last season he's got a lot of trophies, maybe not as much game time as he would have liked. If he can get the Afcon as well and contribute, especially in the final, then hopefully he'll have the confidence to give it a better go at City and take people on. Yeah, get past them, get to that byline, fool people, get crosses in, score more goals, plays more of a team player. And I've no doubt, Pep wants him to succeed. We all want him to succeed. I think most City fans really do want him to succeed. And I hope that, in the odd game that he may not play well, fans don't scapegoat him as sometimes they did last season and openly criticise him on the terraces. Fingers crossed he'll have, as I said, a good final, win Afcon for himself, for his country, and for his own confidence. Come back to City fully rested, have a couple of weeks off now, come back for either, let's say, the Community Shield, which is in 2 weeks' time, or the first game of the season, which is in 3 weeks' time. For me, I'd like him... I don't know when is a good time to come back. Is it just after the Community Shield? I think so. I wouldn't play him in the Community Shield against Liverpool. That's only 2 weeks away. Give him those maybe 2 weeks rest. Get him in for pre-season around that weekend. So he's got a week with the lads and see how he is, whether he's ready for that West Ham game or whether he's on the bench or just had another week or two off to fully recover from his exertions. Because basically, he's had a non-stop summer. Yeah, it's a non-stop summer till here we are, the 19th of July, non-stop. So he needs a bit of a rest. So let's see. Fingers crossed, Riyad. Go out, tonight. Get a couple of goals. Get a man of the match performance. Walk away with a swagger, with that confidence that you are the man. You did it for your country. You did it for yourself and your family and whoever you want to do it for. And come back to City with that confidence and knock them dead next season. See you around, Blues.